Welcome back to the Final Fantasy Marathon. An important part of the Final Fantasy series besides the battling is the job classes.
Job classes give characters diversity in their abilities that they can use. Some characters have a mixture of job classes to give them even more differences than others.
So, here are the top 10 Final Fantasy job classes. We'll be judging them based on usefulness, how iconic they are, and a list of few characters that fit those classes. And without further ado, let's begin.
Blue Mages are classes that players generally use less of, and we honestly see why.
A Blue Mage's main ability is to take enemy abilities and use them for themselves. And while a lot of the abilities they can learn can be incredibly useful, the methods of learning can really suck.
The worst example is the first time Blue Mages are introduced, Final Fantasy V. In 5, Blue Mages seemed to have a hard time learning the abilities, and there was a lot of blue magic that was missable, in which it really sucked. In 6, thankfully, they fixed the problems, and in 7 through 12 it was much better.
Is it completely bad? No, not at all. Most of the blue magic is actually pretty good. White Wind is a fantastic healing move, Mighty Guard is very good, level 5 Death is great for certain enemies, and Limit Glove can really save you in desperate times. Even some of the game-specific ones are good. Level 3 Flare in Final Fantasy V, Beta in Final Fantasy VII, Generator in Final Fantasy VIII, and Angel Snack in Final Fantasy IX are absolutely fantastic.
Not to say that they're all good though. In fact, some of them are downright useless, unhelpful, or a bitch to get. Bad Breath is one example. While it's not a terrible spell, fighting Malboros is a pain in the ass in every game that they appear in. Bad Breath gives you every negative status effect, so you can imagine getting the ability can be a pain. Roulette is also bad. It's a slot machine that will either instant kill the enemy or you. And of course the worst, without a doubt, is self-destruct. Seriously, what the hell?
Notable examples of Blue Mages are Strago Magus from 6, Twisted Trape in 8, Queen of Quen in 9, and Kimari in 10. Blue Mages have their uses, but as mentioned, it can be a pain getting those abilities later on.
Ninjas are honestly an underrated class. They may have many good uses, but it seems people don't use them as often.
Ninjas are mainly distinguishable by the fact that they throw items for damage, such as shurikens, scrolls, and non-equipped items. Ninjas mainly have good speed and evasion, but generally have low HP and defense, making them fast but frail.
Some ninjas even have ninjutsu like throwing smoke bombs to escape battle or using a mirage to dodge physical attacks.
Notable characters in the ninja class include Edge in Final Fantasy IV, Shadow in Final Fantasy VI, and Yuffie in Final Fantasy VII. Ninjas have good things, but are typically outclassed by classes that can do more.
The Monk is a fighter known for their massive strength and HP, yet weak defense. They typically fight barefisted or with claws. Most monks are very bad with magic, but make up for it with their physical strength.
Monks have two common abilities: Kick, which can hit all enemies, and Chakra, which heals them for a decent amount.
However, unique to Final Fantasy VI is Blitz moves used by Sabine Figaro. These 8 moves are amazing. Raging Fist ignores defense, Aura Bolt does holy damage. Suplex is so awesome, he can suplex a train! Rising Phoenix does great fire damage, the previously mentioned Chakra. Razor Gale does great wind damage. Soul Spiral kills Sabine, but it heals the party members for a great amount of HP. And Phantom Rush does fantastic damage.
Notable monks include Yang Fang Leiden from 4, the aforementioned Sabin in 6, Tifa Lockhart in 7, Zell Dingt from 8, Amaranth from 9, and Snowvilliers from 13. Monks are strong yet frail, and hopefully they get more uses in later games.
Let's whip out our holy swords for the Paladin.
Paladins combine both warriors and white mages together to make amazing results. Using swords and even holy swords, these guys have great strength and magic. They hit hard, and their swords can use curing magic as well as things like Shell and Protect. But why are paladins so low?
Put simply, there's just not enough paladins. In fact, there's only 3 main series paladins, and only 1 is playable for more than 20 minutes. Cecil Harvey from 4 is a Dark Knight turned paladin, and considering he's the main hero of 4, he gets the most screen time. The other 2 paladins are Leo Christoph from 6 and Beatrix from 9. Yep, only 3 paladins, which is a shame due to their usefulness.
Honestly, we wish paladins get more appearances in the series. They have so many uses yet barely appear in the series. Hopefully we can get more appearances from paladins.
How cool would it be to bring out mythical creatures to aid you? You lucky summoners.
Summoners are the most badass classes in the series. They use their high magic to summon powerful beings to aid them. Some methods to obtain them include fighting or collecting a certain object. The 3 beings summoners usually start out with are Ifrit, who uses fire attack called Hellfire, Shiva, who uses an ice attack called Diamond Dust, and lastly Ramu, who uses a lightning attack called Judgment Bolt. But they are the icing on the cake compared to others.
How about the giant fortress named Alexander who uses Divine Judgment to do massive holy damage? How about Odin who uses Zantetsuken to instantly kill enemies? How about Anima who uses Oblivion to beat the shit out of enemies and bosses? And of course the Grand Dragon himself, Bahamut, who uses Mega Flare to completely wreck shit up.
Summoners include Rydia from 4, Garnet and Aiko from 9, and Yuna from 10. Summoners are incredibly useful but come at a price. Typically they have low HP, strength, and defense, so they are glass cannons. But, raise them well and they will destroy anything in their sight.
I think someone just took my wallet.
Thieves are also very underused by Final Fantasy players. It's honestly sad. Thieves are incredibly useful for getting some fantastic items. Self-explanatory is their main ability, Steal. They take items from enemies and keep it. Potions, ethers, weapons, money, you name it. And with incredibly fast speed to boot, they can usually beat opponents to the punch. Thanks to their great speed, they can get attacks much quicker with their decent strength. They typically wield daggers or knives, but some can equip short swords or boomerangs.
Thieves are pretty popular in the series. Edge, Lockcoal, Yuffie Kitsaragi, Zidantra Ball, and Riku are prime examples of thieves. It's heavily recommended that you have one as they can steal some pretty great things.
White mages are one of the most important classes your team can have. You need a white mage at your side.
A white mage's main ability is healing. They may not sound like much, but white mages will save your ass more times than you can count. Cure, Cura, Kuraga, and Zuna, these 4 spells will help you in desperate need.
But white mages can do more than heal. They can buff too. Regen to heal over time, Protect to boost defense, Shell to boost magic resistance, and Blink to dodge physical attacks. White mages are an incredibly useful class that can save you on a moment's notice, not to mention the almighty holy spell.
Not to say they're perfect, white mages have one big fault. They're fragile. Very fragile. Low HP, low defense, low strength. They are the weakest class in Final Fantasy. But as long as you have a white mage with you, it's hard to die.
There are many white mages in Final Fantasy. Rosa in 4, Aerith in 7, Garnet and Aiko in 9, Yuna in 10, and Vanille in 13. White mages are an incredible class, if you can keep them alive. Want to destroy everything? The Black Mage is a job for you!
Easily recognized by their long blue robes and pointy leather hats, Black Mages are one of the most iconic classes in the series, and for good reason. They are amazing.
Black Mages use powerful magic to destroy their enemies or debuff them. Blizzard, Thundara, Firaga, Walterja. Black Mages can use a great variety of elemental spells that do massive damage, even non-elemental magic like Flare, Meteor, and the incredible Ultima, as well as Doomsday are also enough to destroy opponents.
Black Mages can even debuff enemies by using their magic. Sleep, Slow, Stop, Blind, Confuse, and Death can put enemies in a bad situation. However, this comes at a cost. Like the White Mage, Black Mages tend to be fragile. Not on the same level, but they aren't very strong in both giving and receiving damage. While they wield daggers or staves, they certainly can't hit hard.
Black Mages are incredibly common like the White Mage. Ridium, Palam in 4, their entire race in 9 with Vivi being the most iconic, Lulu in 10, and Hope in 13, Black Mages can deliver devastating damage to the opposition.
Time to bow down to the mighty warrior.
Warriors are on here for many reasons. They have many iterations on their side. Knights, Mystic Knights, Dark Knights, and Paladins are all here because of warriors. Typically wielding swords and shields, warriors hit with powerful physical attacks.
Warriors may have low magic, but they have incredibly high physical stats such as strength, HP, and defense. They can cover their teammates and take a hit for them. Use abilities like power, mental, magic, and armor break to lower strength, resistance, magic, and defense respectively, and use moves like Shock and Thunder Slash to do powerful damage.
Warriors are iconic with their many iterations, so there are plenty to choose from. Cecil, Cloud, Squall, Steiner, Tidus, Pain, and Lightning are only few of many. There are plenty of warriors in this series for good reason. However, one job class remains.
You know how many songs about flying we know of? A lot. Maybe that's why the Dragoon is our #1 pick.
Dragoons. Oh yes, these badasses show the sheer ridiculousness of Final Fantasy. Their main ability jump launches them hundreds of feet in the air, only for them to land on their opponents to deal heavy damage. Imagine yourself trying out for a basketball team, and when they test out your jump height, you spring up hundreds of feet in the air. Your teammates would be freaking out.
Dragoons can later upgrade their jumping to a higher jump or a double jump. Some Dragoons can even use abilities like Lancet to drain HP and MP. They typically wield spears or daggers and keep light armor on to help their jumping.
Dragoons can even learn powerful moves when they upgrade themselves. Cain becomes a Holy Knight in the after years, so he uses white magic. Freya can use powerful dragon moves, and Kimari is part Blue Mage. Other Dragoons include Sid from Final Fantasy VII, Warwick from 8, and Fang from 13. Dragoons are just so badass, so useful, and that's why they're our #1 pick for the best job class in Final Fantasy. I'm Pay045.
I'm Divine Platinum 97.
And I'm Sentimental Scorpion. Stay tuned for the last 2 videos in the Final Fantasy Marathon. They're going to be a doozy.